disagree. You didn't try it because you didn't win 4 rounds. You didn't win 4. What rounds? You didn't win no rounds? Yes, but I think he's like you drop on him.
Back to the daily grind. The channel's getting false flagged by triggered trolls, so make sure you subscribe to the new channel. Let's get to the MMA news. I don't have any problems with you, Nate. Well, I'm just saying you're a bitch. Damn, Nate Diaz. Keeping it 100 with Brendan Shaub. They got into a little... Man, they put their hands on each other. They didn't fight, but Nate Diaz put his hand on Brendan Shaub, and he made sure to let him know, hey, you put your hands on me, I put my hands on you. You seen that? They touched each other right there. Shit almost got physical right there. I don't know. Nate Diaz, he's confronting everybody, I guess. I don't. Nate Diaz is like, hey, I'm telling y'all. A lot of people talk shit on Nate Diaz, but I'm telling y'all, the Diaz brothers got a man on deck anytime, anywhere, any place, anyone. It ain't about weight classes or nothing, because as you know, Brendan Schaub's a heavyweight. So, I mean, that probably wouldn't go too well in Nate Diaz's favor unless he's got the Rat Pack with him. You know, they're there to jump a motherfucker, fuck Brendan Schaub up. But as you seen, it didn't look like Brendan Shaub won any smoke. But it's probably because, you know, he's actually working for Showtime. He's working the event, so it looked bad if he got into a backstage fight with the UFC fighter it would be actually, that would have been a black eye for MMA if two MMA fighters, one of them was a commentator for Showtime and they were at a boxing event, got into a fight backstage. That actually would not have been good for the sport of MMA. It would have went viral and stuff, but it would have, you know, it would have kind of made a mockery of MMA if they actually got into some type of scuffle or brawl back there. Because, I mean, Nate Diaz, I really don't speak too fluent Nate Diaz. Like, if he's talking, I can understand Nate Diaz's language or whatever whenever he's talking slow. But whenever there's a bunch of background noise like that, I can't speak that. So maybe somebody who speaks Nate Diaz more fluently can translate it in the comments what this whole argument was about. It sounded like maybe they had a disagreement about the Mayweather fight, about like rounds. They said something about 4 rounds or something. At the end, I did hear him say, I don't have any problems with you, Nate. And he said, well, I'm just saying you're a bitch. And then the camera cut off. Damn, it seemed like that's when it was about to get good, honestly. But that's when the camera cut off. So it is what it is. You see Nate Diaz right there. He got into a little argument with Shaub, and it was right after McGregor versus Mayweather. It was backstage and stuff. You know, Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz is very possibly Conor McGregor's next fight when he returns to MMA. It would be a trilogy fight. They're 1-1. Nate Diaz is the only person to beat Conor McGregor in MMA. And I mean, Nate Diaz, he's got a shot at winning that lottery because it's out of Nate Diaz, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Kevin Lee, and Tony Ferguson. Now, my guess is it's probably gonna end up being Nate Diaz somehow. I don't know how, but I know Conor McGregor's gonna be calling the shots, and I know he wants that fight back. But with the interim title scheduled between Kevin Lee and Tony Ferguson, it could also be the winner of them. Khabib's also got a shot at getting the fight versus Conor McGregor, but I don't think it will be Khabib, unfortunately, for the Khabib fans. But man, Nate Diaz, he's out here, he's making waves, he's putting his name out there, is gonna help sell the fight. I don't know exactly what they're arguing about, but Brendan Schaub has a podcast, The Big Brown Breakdown, and also The Fighter and the Kid. I'm sure he's gonna reveal what the details were about, so we'll hear why they were fighting. It might have been about McGregor Mayweather, and if that's the case, maybe he was telling Brendan Schaub, man, Conor McGregor just got his ass kicked around, and Brendan Schaub was like, I disagree, man. He won 4 of those rounds, and Nate was like, man, you're a bitch, or something like that. So if that's the case, you know, maybe McGregor will respond or some shit. Who knows? But Nate Diaz is keeping it 100 here, man. He don't care if you're a heavyweight. He don't care if you're a flyweight. He's going to call you out on your bullshit. So with that being said, it is what it is. Let the haters know what the fuck you tell me in the comments. And by the way, if you speak Nate Diaz or you can translate that shit, let me know what that shit was about in the beginning. Because with all the background noise, I couldn't really understand it. I'm not as fluent in Nate Diaz as some of you. So let me know what the fuck you tell, man.